Lee, I know you're expecting a hockey game tonight, but I really wanted to bring you something that's completely different. Although it's on ice, it is players, but it's ice dancing.
You know what?
Just check it out.
You said, wear your hockey jersey.
Watch it. He's on the ice. Watch it. He's going around. He's going around the boards right now. He's going around. He catches up. Oh, he crashed. Oh, my God. But that's perfect. That's just like hockey. It's great.
You know what? It's not like hockey, because that guy is wearing sequins, man.
Lee,
That's not hockey.
Lee, you need more joy in your life.
No,
That's
I don't
why
think-
I came to ice dancing.
Oh.
Joy, more joy in your life. You got to go to the MoreJoyRadio.com.
I want to see people hit each other, and you know what? You can't even get beer here.
I know, but this is all about joy. We brought you to Ice Dancing for Joy, just like LMB Show. MoreJoyRadio.com, they click on the LMB Show, and they listen to us on Friday nights. That's joy.
All right. Well, you know what? I think that's a good idea, and I'll just try to be more joyful. But again, no hot dogs, no popcorn. They don't have none of that stuff here.
I'll buy you some. Click, connect, listen. LMB Show.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Love Hacks. I'm one of the hosts of Love Hacks. Of course, I am Mr. Lee Bailey. And the other members of our crew, our cast of misfits. Here's my little thing. All right. Anyway, Billy Riley should be along with us here momentarily, as well as Miss Lisa Marie. She's going to be on about 10 minutes with us. Everyone seems to be running late tonight. I wanted to get on. Those of you guys didn't think we were going to just bow out and not do anything. Although I saw we had about 12 listeners and viewers. And looks like some of them took a powder, but maybe they'll come back. Kerry Crawford, Tor Arsala, and Ross Hager. Thanks for liking and sharing like we always love to have you do. It's one of the things that makes this show a great show is having y'all like and share the program so that we can communicate with you. We can talk to you about what you like and what you don't like. And I would love it to see actually we were talking last week about ghosting, and then we found out there's such a thing as called zombie. Do y'all know what that is? Do y'all know what zombie is? Well, it's something that's new-ish. Amy Gish. And I'm going to send Amy Gish so she can join us today, because it's just a round table today of people talking about different things. So one of the things, though, that people are talking about that I'm very interested in sharing with y'all, Steve Day, hey, buddy, and Glenn Webster. It's awfully late tonight, Glenn, isn't it? It's after midnight. Glenn, so glad you joined us here. 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. Yeah, 7:03. No, midnight, right up the money. On the money, midnight is so it's right now. It's right now with my brand new, look at that Apple Watch. Right now it says 7:10, but in Great Britain it's midnight, 10 minutes after midnight. It's tomorrow already, and yeah, it's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? I do have for me. Glenn Webster, good evening to you, sir. It's actually morning already where you are. 10 minutes into the morning, early morning. I wonder if everybody can hear me okay. I'm trying to make sure the mic is there and you can hear me and we're sounding okay and all that kind of good stuff. Tomorrow we're going to start back with our 11 o'clock Be Encouraged program and our 4:30 Be Encouraged program. Is that tomorrow? No. Oh, no. I got to do an infusion tomorrow for 6 hours, y'all. 6 hours. Yikes. I got to take a whole picnic basket with me to have lunch while I'm getting infused. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. So yeah, yet again, no 11 o'clock, no 4:30, because no doubt I will be tired. Well, we can get you one, buddy. We can get you one. We'll find you a good microphone that you can use from home. I'd love to set you up at home tour so you have the whole setup, and then you can start doing your own sports blog. You can start doing all kind of stuff, your own politics blog, even though we don't talk about politics. And by the way, got one comment. Last night's debates was a poop show. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about it. That's all I have to say about it. I already kind of knew that was going to happen, buddy. Sorry to hear that, though. The NFL breaking news: the Titans and the Steelers were supposed to play, and they've what's it called? postponed the show, the game, because of COVID. Too many of their guys tested positive. Michael Costco, thank you, buddy. Recuperation is doing well. I've still got lots of stuff to do. I had a PET scan today, tore me up, wore me out. Even though doesn't take that long to do a PET scan, but I was a little, I think you know what it was. I had to get up at like 5:15 this morning and get over there by 6 o'clock, and then I was there till 8. So it's only there 2 hours, but getting up that early, I should have come home, straight home, got in bed, and went back to sleep. But I had to do my whole morning regimen of drugs. I wish they were good drugs. I guess they are good, though. They're helping me out. Yeah. So anyway, that's the deal with that. I don't know. My buddy Billy Riley, I think he may have. I'm sorry about the laundry. They're empty laundry baskets. I just emptied them. Put away the clothes. Isn't that cool? That's good, Billy. Thank you so much for that. So Billy is in the middle of moving. He sent me a picture. Holy smokes. Yeah, well, that's going to happen these days when you're doing all that stuff. So I'm hoping that Amy Gish, I'm going to send her a little text saying, please come on and join us. Oh, that was a 5:49. Yes, we were. Let's see. Let's call Amy into this little soiree. Amy. Just had a wonderful dinner. My beautiful wife, who's a teacher, works all day long teaching. Then she always puts together outstanding meals. Tonight we had some sausage, some kind of like chicken sausage or something like that, but it had all kinds of good eats inside of it. So, and then there was the whole time with Steve Day. What's up, brother? All is well. Thank you for asking. I got a big thing tomorrow. Tour, I don't need you to come on. I appreciate it. I think Amy's going to come on, talk a little bit about the girls' perspective. And then Lisa will join us, and she'll be able to hammer in there some more good coaching techniques and some good coaching advice for all of our viewers and listeners. I'm sorry that we're getting such a late start this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you happen to be in the world, because right now it's if my boy Glenn Webster's still out there listening and watching, it's 12:15 in the evening there in England, and it's 1:15 in Germany. I believe Germany's 6 hours. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Yes. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about ghosting and, just not responding or not calling like the next day after a nice date. why don't people anymore, I would give you a ring before we had texting. Now we have texting and we get lazy. We just say, hey, great time last night. Appreciate you. Whatever. I think that texting is not good because there's so many things people can read into a text, right? So if I say to you, hey, great time. Really enjoyed myself. Hope you had a good night. That could be, someone could interpret that to be this. Yeah, great night. Hope you had a good time. Later. Probably never call you again. So, in the text, somebody could think you're saying, hey, great night. I had so much fun. Thanks for doing that. I hope you had a good time. These are all these things that you can say. And in texting, you don't know, though, the exuberance or the deadpan thinking. And so that's why texting kind of sucks as far as a communication device, because you just don't know. Lisa should be joining us here momentarily. She said she was 10 minutes late tonight, and now it's more than that, but that's okay. Let's see if we can find her. Let's see if we can find Miss Lisa Marie. And I'm going to ask, are you coming on? She's been busy girl with her coaching. And yeah, so that's why texting is not. I don't think a lot of people stop watching because it's just me. I'm going to start crying here in a minute. No, I'm not going to cry. Billy's not here. He's the draw. I wish he would have come along with us, but he's busy. His last load from his storage unit is getting pulled away and brought back to his apartment. So he's going to be unloading and unpacking and all that good stuff. Carrie Crawford, are you still watching? I don't know if you are, but are you with the Billster? And that's the question also, is because usually as far as unpacking is concerned, you are involved, young lady. Now, there's Steve Day still with me. A couple more people just hopped on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Love Hacks. Love Hacks. Baby, love hacks. That's what we're doing here at MoreJoy Media Presents. And we're doing the Love Hacks show. And we were talking about what does it mean to... I know it's nothing without Lisa Marie. Thank you very much, Tora. She's supposed to be coming on here momentarily with us, so I'm hoping that'll work itself out. Anyway, so hold on. There we go. But one of the things we were talking about here a minute ago was texting. That's the thing everybody does now. And I think it's a completely imperfect way to communicate because, I will tell you this, having been a taking communications classes, I wanted to major in it, didn't finish the program. So, oh, that's good to hear. Okay, so I'm getting inundated here. So, we're going to talk about the fact that in communication, 90% of communication is nonverbal. And that doesn't mean writing. It doesn't mean texting. It means your body language says a lot, and it helps you to convey your message. And that's why texting is very... it's subjective to the listener or the viewer, the reader. Someone reads a text and they're imagining what you might be thinking. Think about the last time you read a book and you're reading it and you're imagining what the characters look like. And I would suggest to you that unless a perfect explanation of their details was written in there, and you know what? This is upsetting me, right?
Chicka bow, chicka bow bow.
Hey, Bob. What's up,
chicka bow bow.
Where you at, bro?
We just finished up loading up some storage, and we're heading over to the next delivery point, then back to my house, man. I'm sorry to miss the show tonight, but I'm almost done, dude. Completely done.
Well, that's good. I'm
But
glad
I'm
to
gonna
hear
have
that.
to change my name for the Love Hack show because it says Billy Riley Insider King. Probably not a good name for the Love Hack deal.
You got the dirtiest mind of anybody I've ever met in my life. That's not true.
I know.
I thought the same thing. Anyway, yeah. So there's lots of things that I beg to not say to myself. So it makes me go.
Things that make you go,
One of these days, that's going to be a show. I've already got the logo and everything for it, but no time right now to do that. But things that make you go, What are you in? Are you in like some gigantic truck?
Dude, a big Jeep. My boy Rob Dye, the king of the nighttime world.
What's up, stud? How you doing, sir?
He's the man. So we are rocking and rolling and just jamming. I couldn't have done it with him, but he scored some pretty cool stuff out of the deal. And he's my main dude.
How come I'm not scoring anything out of any of these deals?
I pulled a couple things out for you tonight.
Yeah, but I don't need any sex toys, okay?
Dude, there was some nice handcuffs in there. All right, man. Well, listen, I just popped on to tell you I was thinking about you. Sorry about the show tonight.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I don't know where Lisa is. She said she would be 10 minutes late, but I haven't seen her, so I'm hoping she's okay and good, and we'll be coming on here momentarily.
All right,
if
buddy.
not, I'm bagging it. All right.
See you soon.
Yes, sir, brother. Take care. There he was, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad he poked his little head, his cute little head in there. His girlfriend cut his hair. I'm sorry. Someone new besides Tommy Chung did his hair. And yeah, mine needs to be done. Look at me, man. I am a mess. So yeah, anyway, one of the things that we were just talking about is the fact that when you text, you don't really tell the whole story because people have to be able to physically see the expressions on your face when you say things. Like, for instance, here's one, I love you, or yeah, I love you. So you can look into that and you can see the differences between those things. Halloween month, October starts tomorrow. Yes, indeed. Fall is the best. You know what we were talking about this at dinner tonight with my wife and my kids. The thing that's best about this time of year, one of the best things, one of them, is it is apple season, apple picking season. So my daughter was like, "Oh, let's go apple picking." So we may do that. I would love it if we did, if I can get my Achilles to feel better. Somehow it feels like it popped or something, but I don't think it did because I know I've heard the pain. I've definitely heard the pain you can be in. Lisa, you're not here, dear. I wonder why she didn't pipe in here. Let me see. Lisa, how are you? All right, Lisa, I may have sent you one that I had to reboot. So here's yours. Let me send it again. All right. So hopefully There she is. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Have to get that out of the way. Have to get this out of the way. Let me see. I'm watching her right now to see, make sure she's not fixing her hair. Hey!
Hey, Lee, what's up?
Oh, man, I was feeling really lost without any of my partners here. Billy chimed
you were
in.
lonely?
I was, and you know
yeah.
what? And of course, Tora doesn't give me any credit whatsoever. He says, Love Hacks is nothing without Lisa. Oh, well.
That's not true.
I know about love, Tora, okay? Just so you know.
Yeah.
And Steve Day, there's Miss Beautiful Lisa. Hold on.
Oh, hi, Steve.
Okay, so Tora has a question, and he knows I'm not going to let him on the air. So
Okay.
he asked the question. My question for Lisa Marie: what is the best part about being a coach, and was this your chosen path? And this is more than one question, Tora. And what advice would you have for folks regarding their own path to the futures? Okay, well, we're not going to edit you.
Okay, so leave that up because there's a bunch of parts to it. So,
leave it up. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the best part about being a coach, I love helping people, and I've got to meet some really cool people, and it's good when I can help them achieve what they want out of life. So that is the best part
about being a coach.
Yeah, and I've always done that. Even for years, I owned hair salons, so I'd have my clients, and they would come to me with their problems, and I was able to help them. And I just decided, well, if I'm going to do it anyway, I might as well just make it my job.
Might as well.
Yeah.
You can still be doing that though. You can still be doing hair and being a life coach at the same time, making double the money.
Yeah, I could, but I'm kind of over the hair thing. I did that for, I don't know, 30 years. So I'm kind of.
Well, I could use a little bit of a spruce.
You're looking good. You're looking good, Lee.
Yeah.
And so, was this my chosen path? No, the path chose me. I was just, I've always done it, so I just continued doing it. People would call me all hours of the day and night, asking questions and wanting advice, and I was, so I didn't choose the path chose me. But then once I decided I wanted to do it, then I went to school for it and learned how to be a good coach and how to do things right, and that helped. I was better.
Yeah, you went to school though for your undergrad. Was the coaching, was that like a separate program that you did?
Yeah. I mean, I have my business degree, but that's separate. I have to get a certificate to be a coach. Well, you don't need a certificate, but I went to school for it, got it anyway. So
of course, I'm gonna get one too one of these days. Maybe, I don't know. I've thought about it, and one of my. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. It's cool. It's a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I want to work with youth, so it's one of the things that I've always wanted to do is work with adolescents and help coach them through the hardest time of their life. Everybody's hardest time is those teenage years.
Yeah, and you've already been doing it, so
I have, right. So that's a good thing. I've also got a one of the assistant principals who has his PhD in clinical psychology.
Mm-hmm.
He's said, "Listen, I'll put my shingle out, and we'll do it together." Working with adolescents. So I don't know if he still would be willing to do that, but it would be awesome if he would. His name is Mr. Hollingsworth. He's an awesome guy, awesome dude, one of my favorite people ever in the world. And so, but he has a heart for kids, boy. I tell you, he's just got a real heart, something.
There's a big difference between being a psychologist and being a coach or a therapist.
No,
so I don't. Yeah, so I don't diagnose people that have mental disorders or anything like that. So what I do is figure out what people's goals are. We make an action plan to achieve those goals, and then I'm an accountability partner, and I just call you and harass you and make sure you're doing what you said you're going to do, and I stick by your side until you get what you want. We work on things together. So I'm kind of like having a really supportive best friend that's good at giving advice because I've given a lot of it. So
Well, that's one of the things. One of the reasons I wanted to hook up with Conrad was because, when you're working in that atmosphere where you're coaching, you do come across sometimes, often, I think, times when people need clinical help. And it's like, it's nice to have in the house, you have a guy who's a clinical psychologist that you can say, okay, listen, we're still doing our thing. We're still going to continue to do our thing. But I want you to come once a week and talk to Conrad, and bring him into the office, talk to the kid and say, yeah, man, come on, see me once a week, or whatever. Yeah.
And a lot of my clients do see a therapist as well, but a therapist doesn't do what I do, so.
Sure. That's right.
It's a different thing. So.
Sure. Absolutely.
They work together. Was there another part to that question that Tora had?
Nope. No. Yes, there was. I'm sorry. And what advice would you have for folks regarding their own path to the future? Did we already just do that?
Well, I mean, we talked about your path to being a coach, but like Tora's future, he has other things that he wants to do. So, but he's doing it. I mean, he has and so he's doing it. What he does is what we talked about, where he sets goals and then he figures out steps that he has to follow to achieve those goals, and then he achieves them. And so he's gone a long way. A lot of progress.
I'm guessing you don't have to call him very much, right? He calls you.
Yeah, I mean, we set up times where we talk and I call him, and sometimes he misses the call and calls me back, but
yeah.
But I think once he got the hang of what he was trying to do and started making some action moves, he's he doesn't need my help that much anymore. He's following along pretty good. He's not one.
He's got the wherewithal. I mean, he's got the wherewithal to handle instructions and your coaching, and he can take it and run with it, But he did. I'm sure, though, he needed your inspiration, and I know that probably helped him quite a bit. And
some people are harder.
Yeah, of course.
Like Billy, I had to really work on him. It's not like I told him what to do and he was like, okay, I'll do it. He's like, no, that's stupid. So then he had to work a little. Yeah.
What?
So but he's made but he's made a lot of progress too, and I think he's real happy with where his life's going too.
Yeah, he has become a pretty nice sissy boy. I'm kidding. He's not. He's a good boy, good man.
We can make fun of him. He's not here. So.
That's true, and I think he might be watching, so it's even more fun.
Yeah, if we antagonize a little bit, he'll come on,
Oh yeah, whoop! It's gonna come up and go. All right, you, and we're not bringing him on. I don't care if he boops in. He's gonna boop in, and we ain't gonna do nothing. No, but so last week I was just talking about this, Lisa. Last week we talked about ghosting. We talked about this new zombie. What? Anyway, but one of the things I was talking about, and I have one of my things, I won't say expertise. It's not expertise, but communication is one of the things that I do. And one of the classes that I took when I was in college, and I learned a lot in communication, even though, you just think, it's just talking. No, it's a lot more to it than that. Yeah. One of the things we were talking about, though, is like, the day after the date, I said, it's my want to give that person a call and say, hey, I had a great time. Thank you for going with me. If I don't call, if I text, I mean, I didn't have as good a time. And that's the truth. The other thing about that was I was thinking texting is not a good form of communication for especially relationship wise, because 90% of communication is nonverbal.
That's
I'm not talking about typing in text and all. I mean, body language, expression. And you can't get that in a text. You read a text, and so for instance, the text says, hey, had a great time. That's all the person wanted to write because they didn't want to get too crazy. I'm in love with you. Please marry me. Guilty. No, I'm kidding. I didn't ever do that. But so you text that, and guess how that can be interpreted 8 different ways. Yeah. I had a great time last night. Yeah. I had a great time last night. but it doesn't have that inflection in a text. In text, it's just, yeah, I had a good time last night. And then you start thinking, well, he didn't elaborate because he didn't have a real good time. He didn't express himself or say more because he's just trying to be a gentleman or whatever, or the girl's just trying to be nice or whatever it is. And so, and we all know those self-esteem issues are there for people in the dating world. And so we automatically think, yeah.
What are they trying to dump me? What are they saying goodbye? That was it? That we're never going to see each other again? Yeah. So all those doubts and insecurities can come up.
Which is nice about this form of talking, the FaceTime and stuff like that. But that's my recommendation. What do you think? I mean, I wouldn't text somebody the next morning. I do want to tell somebody though, almost immediately, hey, listen, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's it. Nothing major. Can we go out next week? And then on the following Saturday, there's a big bazaar. Can we go to that? That's a little crazy.
A lot of these younger kids are not used to phone calls. Like they have a phone, but they've never actually called anybody on it. So for them, if you rang their phone, they're going to be like, oh my God, what's that sound? That's weird. You're a stalker. You actually rang my phone. Nobody does that. Where people our age that grew up without the text messages, we had to make the phone calls. So for us, it wouldn't be so alarming,
Yeah. So what do you suggest to different age groups, like the younger kids? Should they just text, or do they need to step up and say, hey, I think I want to make an impression on this person?
I think for younger people, I would text and say, hey, are you up for a phone call? You got a few minutes to chat on the phone, and leave it up to them,
Yeah. And you know what I just thought of too? These kids, when they do their texting, it's all about the emojis. Yeah. And if you don't have any emojis and you just, I had a good time last night. Nah. But if you have a smiley.
Your emoji game's got to be strong, man.
You got to have a good, strong emoji game at this age. Yeah, eggplant. There's some eggplants and some tacos.
No eggplants and tacos, man. Oh my God.
Half the people watching this are going, what? What's that?
What? What's an eggplant? What's a taco?
What's an eggplant? What's a taco? Yeah. So anyway. But so that's actually, you're right. The game, that's where we show our emotions with our emoticons and the emojis and whatever they are. Yeah.
But I think for me, I would probably text first and say, hey, are you up for a phone call? Do you want to chat on the phone at some point, and leave it up to them? That's what I would do.
Well, you don't ever have to do that with me, Lisa. Just call anytime.
Yeah, I know, but I usually text you first.
Yes, indeed. Well, anyway, so that was an interesting conversation we had last week about, is texting a good way to do things? That's what came to my mind for this week. And we just discussed that. So moving on. Ghosting, and what was the other thing that we talked about? Zombieing. But there was another one too. I thought.
What was it?
Before we found out what zombieing means. When we were talking about ghosting and something else, and then we got enlightened, I think, by Amy. What zombieing? What? Yeah. I asked her to come on the show tonight. She must be busy working. So
yeah.
But that's funny. That's really funny. So what else do you think as far as the next steps in the dating process? We did talk about the friend zone last week. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that. And of course, I think it's a good place to start. You start with a friendship and build into more. And of course, men are always like, "Oh, she just likes me as a friend. I'm doomed. I'm going to go jump off a bridge somewhere." So
I think there's a difference between though being friends first and moving someone into the friend zone. Because
you mean if you were more than friends and then all of a sudden now you just want to be friends? Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Now that's a different case. I mean, if you start out as friends and it never moves to anything romantic, that doesn't mean that it can't, because it certainly could. But if it starts out as a romantic thing and then like, hey, let's just be friends, then you pretty much just got done. So.
Yeah. And women love doing that. I don't know how many guys actually. I don't think guys do that. They just kind of ghost. They just guys are like,
Yeah, and women ghost too.
No, yeah, there's no question about that. But I'm just saying, there's a lot. Women are more compassionate and empathetic, and they don't want to let the guy down. They don't want him to hurt his feelings, so they move him into the friend zone. Let's just be friends.
Yeah,
I'd rather you say you stink. Sorry.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, I've met guys that were nice and had a good time or whatever, but then I'd start to see that I could be friends with this person, but I couldn't be anything more with them because they do things that I don't like as far as relationship wise. And rather than saying, you know what, I don't ever want to talk to you again, I'll be like, hey, let's just be friends. As a relationship thing, I don't think it would work. But, that doesn't mean I hate you as a person. I think you're great. You're just not what I'm looking for in my life right now for a romantic relationship.
I gotcha. Well, Bubba Almoney says he's blessed and proud of you, Lisa. So that's nice.
Oh, I'm proud of him too. He's got some pretty big accomplishments going on.
Oh, yeah? That's cool. That's cool.
We need to have him on one day. He would actually be,
that'd be a good guest.
Yeah.
All right. I'd love to have him on. We'll have to set that up. Can you set that up for us? All right. You just, let him know one of these Wednesdays. And he also likes and shares, so he's one of my favorite people. When people like and share, that's what I'm asking for, please.
Just do it. Just please, one time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I had an interesting client this week. So this was, because we don't really have a topic. I wasn't sure we were even doing the show tonight. That's why I was late, because I didn't know.
I understand.
So client this week, and I never give out names, but I can talk about situations. So he has this girl he's been dating like 6 months, and so he calls me up and he goes, well, she's really nice. She's beautiful. She treats me great and everything, but she's got guy friends on Facebook and she compliments them and tells them that they're handsome and stuff. And I'm really not cool with that. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, my past relationship, she cheated on me, da 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 da. And I'm like, well, you can't, take out, she's not going to pay for other people's mistakes. So you either trust her. And I said, has she given you a reason? Because he asked her, who's this guy and what's going on and why are you flirting with him? And she's like, no, it's just a friend. I was trying to boost his confidence. He's going for a job interview. I told him he was handsome. It's nothing. But he had a really big problem with it. And I said, that's an insecurity of your own, unless she's given you a reason to not believe her. And he said, no, she's never lied to me. She's never deceived me. I don't think there's anything else going on with them. And I said, well, then why would that be a problem that she's, talking to somebody else or giving somebody else a compliment? It shouldn't affect things. But he was like ready to just kick her to the curb. But I told him, I said, she's not in the wrong here. You have some insecurities from your previous relationships that you need to work on. Otherwise, you're going to sabotage this relationship because you're sitting there accusing her of lying when she's not lying. And that's not fair to her. So if you're not careful, she's going to be going out with that other dude because you're accusing her of it anyway,
Right. And that's something you definitely hear. Well, if he already thinks I'm cheating, then what the hell? Well, and I think that's a flawed logic, of course, too, but I understand it. My question, I have another question for you, Lisa, regarding that. What do you think about? I mean, I have always been one of these guys that there's no jealousy here, but on the other hand, luckily my wife is the same way because I'm a big flirt and I love flirting. It's fun. For me, it's not flirting. It's encouraging. It's inspiring because I say, wow, you look great today.
Yeah.
That's as far as it goes. I don't go,
you're building people up.
I love the shortness of your dress. I don't do all that. I just tell them, hey, you look great. You look like you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. That's great. And whether or not those, and I've had that backfire on me. Why is he always telling me I look nice? Why would you complain about that?
Yeah.
That kills me. But
anyway. I tell my female friends, wow, you look beautiful, you do this and that. There's nothing romantic about it, I mean, it's just, if somebody looks nice, you mention it, that it's just a nice thing to do.
Exactly. I
But
do that with guys too. I mean, I was walking with
yeah,
my I don't remember who it is I was walking with, and I said, "Oh, I was talking to somebody, and I was watching basketball, and there's this guy playing for the Miami Heat. His name is something Hero. I don't know, but he's a young white kid from like Duke or something like that. But he's amazing, and he's a handsome boy. I mean, he's a very nice. He's 20 years old, so I don't know how much college he even did, but he's a fantastic basketball player, and he's a good-looking kid." And I said,
yeah,
he's handsome. And somebody
yeah.
goes, "What's wrong with you? What do you mean he's handsome? Why would you notice? Why would you say that?" Because he
Just a
is.
nice, yeah. I mean, we got eyes, we got vision. I can look at my friends. I
I
have
mean, I
female
didn't say he
friends.
had a nice butt. I mean, oh, you got a nice
Well,
butt. Look at that butt. Woohoo! You know, that's
even if you did, I mean, I have
right.
female friends, and I'll be like, my God, if I had a butt like hers, I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to sleep with them. It's a compliment. It's like you're in good physical shape.
Yeah, you know, and it's just, but that's a little creepy when it comes from a guy saying that. But I think to me it is. So I just don't,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It's no big deal, you know.
Although you did put up a bunch of butt pictures. I think it was last week or the week before.
Oh no, I did those were for you. Those are for
Yeah.
you, my buddy. That's
Mhm.
my buddy with all his muscles.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
So,
Ben Alvarado.
so, yeah, so a lot of people have these issues, and so he thought he was in the right, with the jealousy and this and that. Here's a nice girl, and she just treats him like gold, just adores him, and he's so insecure that he's ruining the relationship himself.
Yep, yep.
And I don't think he realized that until we had a long discussion about it. And I said, this stems from something that happened to you from your ex. This person didn't hurt you, and they don't deserve to be treated that way, and if she's telling me the truth and she's never lied to you, and for you to continue to you know treat her like a child and say you can talk to
Yeah,
this person,
yeah.
but you can't say this, and you can't talk to that person, and that's a control issue that's based on someone's insecurity. And I told him, I said, if you continue down that road, you're going to destroy that relationship with that. If
No
she's the
question.
type of person, well, and if she's the type of person that goes out and sleeps around, there's nothing you're going to say to stop her anyway. So
Right.
you could say, oh, I don't want you talking to him. You know what? If she's going to do it, she's going to do it behind your back. So you're not helping yourself
So then
either way.
the choice then is, do you have a relationship or don't you? And
Right.
in my world, you don't. In
Right.
some other people's worlds, then it's, as long as it doesn't interfere with their relationship, somehow they think and that's kind of a newer generational thing. But it's like, it's okay as long as I'm not interrupting or not having any problem with this thing.
Yeah.
And I've heard that kind of stuff. So Steve Dade chimes in and says, "Don't sweat the small stuff. If someone's going to cheat, you're not going to stop it. Don't worry about
No.
being jealous until you know something is up. Then
Yeah.
deal with it. Jealousy is a
Right.
waste of time." I
It is.
completely agree with him. Jealousy
Yeah.
is absolutely a waste of time. In fact,
Right.
and the other thing is too, Lisa, would you agree that, you have to give your partner a certain amount of independence and they need to take it. And if
Yes.
they don't, there's a problem. If they're so codependent on you,
Yeah.
there's an issue there. Even if they maybe not nitpicking you or blaming you or whatever, if everything they do revolves around the two of you,
That's a problem.
then that's a
Yeah.
problem. Don't
But
you agree?
yeah. Well, it really goes back to, these are two adults. So, one of them doesn't control the other one. You don't tell me where I'm going to go, who I'm going to talk to, any of this, that. If you don't like it, you know what? Leave me. But
Yeah.
to have that adult child relationship where you make the rules and they follow them, that's not healthy in an adult relationship. For somebody
Yeah.
to say, you can be friends with this person, but not that one. And you can talk to this person, but you can't give them compliments. And you can, I mean, what am I, 6 years old? I
Why?
need somebody. Yeah.
And why do you have someone perseverating over what you're doing? I mean, who cares? Give them that independence if they want to do that. And you know what?
Yeah.
If you feel uncomfortable, let's say she's really flirty, okay, or he, whichever. Doesn't matter. They're really flirty. if you're uncomfortable with that, you absolutely have every right to mention it and say, you're a little overly flirty, and then, you tone it down a little bit or whatever. And then the person can either say, oh, heck no, I'm not toning it down. Okay, well, then goodbye, and like you said before, when you're talking about a relationship with somebody, you have your rules. And my rules are boundaries, but they're not boundaries to the point where you're not giving independence to your partner. They can do what they want to do as long as it's not something that breaks one of your rules.
So here's the difference between a rule and a boundary. Okay. A rule is you're going to do what I say and you're not going to do what I tell you not to do. That's a rule. A boundary is, this is what I'm going to tolerate. I'm not going to change you. I'm not going to ask you to change, but I'm saying that this is something that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, because I'm not going to change for you either.
Right. So that's the difference. It's important to understand the difference between a rule and a boundary. If I say, let's say that I was the insecure one and I went to this guy and said, I don't like you being friends with all these girls. I want you to block all of them on Facebook. I don't want you to, you know what? That's a rule. If I said, I'm insecure, I have issues with this, I'm going to leave the relationship because I just don't think it's going to work. That's a boundary.
Yeah.
So you have to make a clear distinction. And that's one of the things I asked this guy. I said, is what she did, is that compliment that she gave this guy, I said, is that a deal breaker? And he said, no, it's not a deal breaker. I said, then you have to let it go. Right.
Let it go.
Right. A boundary is a deal breaker. It's not trying to change somebody else. Right. That's what people need to understand.
Just listen to Elsa. Let it go. Or whatever. But you were mentioning something just a minute ago. You're talking about boundaries. And you said, I don't like this, this, and this. So that's a deal breaker. Yeah. Now, I'm the guy. Say it's you and me. Okay. And I'm flirting. And you say, you walk up to me after I've been flirting around and having fun and sitting at the bar, buying a drink maybe for somebody or something like that. But of course, I've got, I've got you or whoever my girlfriend is on my wing. And then if they say, okay, this is over because I'm not comfortable with that, that's not fair. That's not fair. I need to get some warning. I need to get something up front that says, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. That's one of my boundaries. And I go, okay.
Okay, so that's a good scenario. So I would say, Lee, this isn't what I want. I don't want a relationship where I feel insecure. Like I feel like you're giving attention to these other women. It hurts my feelings. You might say, you know what? I didn't know that. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Right. Well, I can't guarantee it won't happen. I'll try my best to keep it because that's something I've been doing my whole life.
Or you could say, you know what? This is how I'm going to live. This is what I believe is right. And if you can't accept it, then you're free to go.
Yeah. Free to go.
Right.
Well, it's funny because we go to a bar, my wife and I, and she's just a chatty Cathy when we go to the bar. And whoever's sitting on her left, which is usually some drunk, she'll chime up a conversation and she'll get it going. And then I somehow get reined into it a little bit too. But, I don't give a rat if she's talking to the guy next to her.
Yeah, she's going home with you, so who cares, right?
Yeah, that's just like Jeff Healy band, she's going home with me tonight.
Yeah,
and so I don't give her care. I don't care what you're talking about. And make friends with somebody she always makes friends with not people that she knows, but people who are complete strangers. And it's fine because I don't, if I saw them exchanging numbers, there might be a little bit of an issue. Maybe I might say, why did you change? Why did you get his number? But she might have, in her case, she would have a good reason. Oh, because he wants some Norway stuff. Oh, okay, cool. I'm just wondering, she would understand why I would be wondering that she's getting the guy's phone number. There's a little bit of, but that's the other thing too. I think there's lots of other things that are involved. But first and foremost, it's that I want to know what your boundaries are so that I can be respectful of them. Right. And so I need you to tell me, don't pull it out of your butt, like on a date I didn't like the way you looked at that girl. This is over. What? I don't like it when someone does, and I don't do that. I mean, I get all the looking I can without turning my head. Just kidding. But that's yeah. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I just need to know up front. You can't pull rules on me. I need to know what the rules are. I need to know not rules but boundaries. I want to know what they are.
Yeah.
Because I want to be
sometimes
respectful.
People just right, but sometimes people just aren't compatible. Like your wife, she likes to go and chat with people, whatever. There's guys out there that are just not going to have that. They're not going to deal with it, and they're just not compatible. And there's nothing wrong with that. Walk away.
Well, we've talked about that. If you're jealous, jealousy is a waste of time. And if a guy is saying to you, "Hey, who's that guy you were just talking to?" That's not a big deal because he wants to know who you're talking to, But if he says, "Yeah, I don't think you should be talking to him," or and even
now you're putting rules out.
Now you're putting rules out there, and it's like, dude, no.
Yeah, I'm not 6 years old. You're not my father. You don't make the rules. You either accept how I am, which I've worked on myself. I think I'm a good person. You either accept me as I am, or you just move on.
And there's relationship building stuff there. If a guy did do that, there's lots of things that the woman could say to him. Hey, babe, you're mine, and you're the only one that really interests me in here. I'm just talking to people. Don't ever take it more than that, because that's all it is. And if he still says, "I still don't want you talking to him," all right. Well, in that case,
then you get the friend zone, and like, hey, maybe we should just be friends. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you go from being romantic, go back to the friend zone, rather than starting at the friend zone and then building into something more. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And one of the things that's got to be hard for me, I know we had friends, more acquaintance friends, whatever, who, they met because she worked for him. He was married, and they started a little side thing.
Uh-oh.
And so he divorced his wife, told her, and they got married. And you know what? She is constantly worried that he's going to be doing the same thing with someone else. Well, of course he might.
Yeah.
Because he already did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a cheater, so
you can't get involved in that. If you want to have a tryst with somebody because you felt horny, and that's something you want to do, then go for it. But believe me, whoever you're doing it with isn't going to change his stripes. He's a zebra, and the stripes don't change. So you have to be extra careful about how all that works. If in 10 years he's tired of you, and he goes and wants to have a little extra something with somebody.
Yeah, and I've, of course, we all have had married people come on to us, and I've had them come on to me, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're married. This is well, I'm not happy. And of course, they always say, I'm not happy in my marriage. And I'm like, well, if you leave your marriage and you end up single someday, give me a call. But till then, no. It's friend zone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I think this is a good show tonight, after all, even though we got started late and everything. I think we covered some good bounds. Mr. Steve Day was involved the whole way. He said, look at it as a compliment. You're with someone that others are attracted to. Absolutely. I mean, again, back to Jeff Healey, the Jeff Healey band. My parents don't seem to understand what "I'll call you later" means. Okay. So that's always been. I've always been very, very happy that my wife gets the looks, or I have friends who tell me, "Man, your wife is beautiful." And I'm like, going, and I don't see. Now I know guys that if you said that to them, they'd say, "Hey, watch it."
Yeah. All right.
I go, "Thank you very much." That's my answer. My answer is like, "All right."
But when I've been with somebody attractive and they get a compliment, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Look what I got.
Right there. I didn't leave a message.
Okay. Well, we're about done here anyway. We're done with our
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you for coming on again. As always, we're partners, and that's good stuff. Billy promises he's going to start doing it after this because this is his last haul.
He's been saying that a
storage
while.
unit.
We'll see.
Yeah, I know. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and watching with us with Lisa and I on Love Hacks. We learned a lot tonight, I think, about boundaries. We learned about how, communication is key in a relationship, and you can't, especially at the very beginning of the relationship, you have to have everything lined up right, and you have to communicate properly. And maybe we can talk about that next week, more about communication and how you talk to people, how you talk to your not mate necessarily, but because we're just talking about dating situations right now. We're not talking about this is not this is not marriage counseling.
Right.
This is dating hacks. So that's where we are. Yeah. All right, Lisa, thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye.